This is your percent application finding the percent notes review. The sixth grade class held an end-of-year talent show. Of the 300 sixth graders, 240 of them decided to attend. What percent of the sixth grade class attended the talent show? What do we know? 240 out of 300 attended talent show. What do we need to know? What percent attended? Are we looking for the part, the whole, or the percent? We're looking for the percent. Skipping the tape diagram and making a proportion. 240 students out of 300 total attended the talent show. What percent is this? Over 100%. So when you cross multiply and divide, 240 times 100 is 24,000, and we divide that by 300, you're going to get 80. X equals 80, which is 80% attended the talent show. Number 1, in Mrs. Stone's class, 18 out of 20 students turned in their homework. What percent of the class turned in their homework on time? There's our proportion set up. Cross multiply and divide. 18 times 100 is 1,800. Divide that by 20. We get 90% of the class turned in their homework on time. 90%. Angelica took a spelling test and got 11 out of 12 problems correct. What percent of problems does she get correct? X over 100. Cross multiply and divide. 11 times 100 is 1,100. Divide that by 12. We get 91.6 repeating. 91.6 repeating percent. If you round it to the nearest percent, it's about 92%. A farmer decides to sell 16 pounds of his small 48-pound potato crop. So sells 16 out of 48 pounds. What percent of the crop did he sell? I need to know what percent he sold. So what's my proportion? 16 out of the 48 total is what we sold. What percent over 100 is that? Cross multiply and divide. 16 times 100. Take that answer, divide by 48. And X equals 33.3 repeating percent. For every $10 that Glenn earns, his parents require him to save $2. What percent of his money does he get to spend? I know he makes $10. I also know he must save $2. I need to know what percent he can spend. So you can do this one of two ways. I'll try and show both. We know he has to save 2 out of $10, which is what percent over 100. This way tells us, when we cross multiply and divide, that he has to save 20%. But the problem tells us or asks us what percent can he spend? And I know the saving percent plus the spending percent has to equal 100%. So 20% plus some other percent equals 100%. And we know, to answer this question, 100 minus 20 is 80%. So he can spend 80%. The other way is, if we already know he's making $10 and he has to put $2 in the piggy bank, he has $8 left. So if you use 8 out of 10, it's going to automatically tell us what percent he can spend. When you cross multiply and divide, we figure out he can spend 80%. Number 5, Joey has 8 pairs of socks. 5 pairs are white. What percent of Joey's socks are colored? So what percent are fun socks? If I know I have 8 total pairs, but 5 of them are white. Let's say we open the drawer, we see 8 pairs of socks. If I take out all the pairs of white socks, I only have 3 pairs of socks left in the drawer that are the fun socks, okay, with colors or patterns. So I know 3 out of my 8 total pairs are my fun socks, and we want to know what percent that is. So when you cross multiply and divide, we figure out that his fun socks make up 37.5%. 37.5% are fun color or pattern socks. Last one. Coach Thomas has a player who made 9 out of 15 free throws. During tryouts. To make the team, a player must be able to make 65% to make the team. Will the player make the team? I need to know what percent the player made, and is he on the team, yes or no. So if we make 9 out of 15 free throws, what percent is that over 100? Cross multiply and divide, and we figure out that he makes 60% of his free throws. 60% made. But the situation said a player must be able to make 65% of their free throws to make the team. Will this player make the team? No. His percent was too low. He did not make the team. He will have to keep practicing.